Bell. Now, these guys are used to competition from everything, their whole lifetime at Harvard to having the idea for the most prominent social media site, the early version of Facebook, to competing in the Beijing Olympics. Now, as if that's not enough, because, you guys, really, there's always more to do in the world. You're looking to disrupt the world of Bitcoin. After launching Winkdex, which is a Bitcoin price index back in February of 2014, the Winklevoss brothers were given the green light just this week for their next project, Gemini. Gemini joins a very short list of U.S.-regulated Bitcoin exchanges and is currently available in 26 states. It opened this morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Here's a dynamic duo taking the Bitcoin world by storm. Tyler and, of course, Cameron Winklevoss, the Gemini co-founders. Great to have you both.
Thanks for having me.
It opened at 9:30 this morning. What happened, Tyler?
Traffic,
what happened?
We had trading, no hiccups, so it went well. Yep.
Can you quantify how many people jumped in on this?
So I don't have a list of people right now, but basically deposits have been flowing in all day, both on the Bitcoin side and the fiat side. And Bitcoin is obviously quicker because it takes about an hour to confirm in the blockchain. Fiat deposits are a little bit slow and restricted by banking hours, but we're seeing a rapid increase of both, and trading is going well.
This is so incredible to me because we were talking about it in our morning show meeting, and we were all saying we need to really specifically get exactly what it is you do, Tyler. What is Gemini? Explain to people who've never touched, we can't touch a Bitcoin, but who have never even touched the concept of it.
Right. Well, Gemini is basically a NASDAQ for Bitcoin buying and selling. So just like you sign on to E-Trade and buy a share of Apple, you can sign on to Gemini. We have a web interface at Gemini.com, and you can buy and sell a Bitcoin. So that's
You've got
basically
that URL, Gemini.com?
Yeah.
Gemini.com, yeah.
Gemini.com.
Just like exactly how you spell the astrological sign. So, yeah.
And then you do need a bank account to transfer that into there,
so
correct?
You have to go through our AML KYC program, which basically verifies your identity, authenticates you as an individual, and checks terrorists and watch lists and things like that.
How secure is it? That was my first thought.
Yeah, so what we did is we went under the trust company licensing framework, and we did that on purpose, and it makes us a fiduciary, which obligates us to basically keep the interests of our customers first and foremost. It also has the strictest level of regulatory policies as well as capitalization requirements, and we did that on purpose mainly to create a place where institutions and individuals alike would feel comfortable in trading.
I look at Bitcoin and I think of the Wild West. It seems so early, but smart guys like Tim Draper of Draper, Jervitz and Fisher, he's been on the program, so it is going to be the way we use money in the future. But you got people in prison, people indicted, the Mt. Gox Tokyo Exchange, that guy has been indicted. You have a guy named Charlie Shrem from BitInstant who's now serving prison time. So I'm wondering, look, bankers get thrown in prison all the time. So it's not specific to Bitcoin, but it scares people.
I think it had growing pains certainly originally, but I think all new technologies have that, and certainly this is not unique to Bitcoin. But with Gemini, we're here to end the phase of the Wild Wild West. We have had a dialogue with regulators for over a year and a half, and we're fully licensed.
New York licensed.
Exactly,
New
York, and we're a trust company. We're under banking law. We're in an existing framework that existed before Bitcoin. So our whole goal along was to go in the front door, ask for permission, not forgiveness, and we want the institutions on Wall Street, in Main Street, and in Midtown to plug into Gemini. So we worked really hard to make this as compliant as any other banking or financial institution.
I want to explain to our viewers how they could possibly use it to their advantage. Is it as if, so you can have your account in your phone, correct? So let's say I'm flying from one country and I'm trying to land in Switzerland and there's an emergency landing in Moscow and I don't have rubles.
Right.
Do I have money in that phone?
So basically, Bitcoin is borderless. It's very much a global currency. There's no sort of constraints in that manner. So you and I can exchange a Bitcoin anywhere in the world pretty much instantaneously. So that's definitely an advantage. Right now, we currently do US dollar and Bitcoin spot, but we'll be expanding that to multiple different currencies. So you'll be able to basically exchange. So if you're going to Europe for a vacation and you need euros, rather than getting ripped off in the exchange in the airport or from your hotel or something
exactly.
like that.
Are you going to put these guys out of business? The ones in the airport where I need euros and I need pesos.
Yeah,
Hopefully, you just said hopefully.
Or at least make it a fair playing field.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is that Bitcoin, you can send Bitcoin to any part of the world just like as easily as an email,
but
and
the
it's
price
free.
fluctuates, the value fluctuates.
It's really been pretty stable, but it's also a really small market. The market cap of Bitcoin is about $4 billion, but we've been building exchanges like Gemini, and we're working on our ETFs so that more big players can come into the market, because financial institutions will not do business with an exchange offshore, and we're one of the first onshore licensed headquartered in New York exchanges that they actually can feel comfortable doing business.
And one other point also is Bitcoin, if anybody who has gold in their portfolio as a disaster insurance or as an inflation hedge should really consider Bitcoin as a digital version of gold, and better in many ways.
You're going to convince gold bugs?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're the ones who mistrust everything.
I think
right?
if you're in Greece or Cyprus, it's a lot easier to move Bitcoin than bars of gold, and it's a perfect hedge for that kind of crisis. So I think that's another point of why someone might want to come on a Gemini and buy Bitcoin. And then the other, to your earlier question about security's been top of mind since day one. Our first couple of hires were actually security hires, and we have people from Bridgewater Associates, Two Sigma, Microsoft, Google Wallet programs. So that's not an afterthought, it's a forethought, and it's something we take very seriously and have built the company on top of.
Make it a vault expansion.
Yep.
I mean, right now we showed a map of the United States in 26 states. Can you get outside the U.S.?
So good news is we're up to 28 states now. We have, or rather 27. We just added Illinois this morning. It was greenlit by the regulators yesterday. So we are rapidly expanding to try and do all of the U.S. and the U.S. territories. But we're also looking at opening up in Europe and Asia as soon as possible. It just takes a little bit of research and some time to get through the regulation, as well as we're looking at Canada.
Have you convinced your parents to invest in Bitcoin?
Absolutely.
You have?
They're Bitcoin believers.
Because if you can get mom and dad involved.
Exactly. Dad got involved. He owns Bitcoin, and he's absolutely been bitten by the Bitcoin bug and loves it. So
it's not just for young whippersnappers.
It dominates dinner table conversation a lot. Yeah.
Tyler Cameron, great to have you both, and thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Interesting to watch. We like new things, and we like entrepreneurial spirit. That's you guys. Thanks.
Great. Thank you.
The Winklevoss twins.